that niche in the market because no one in the muskie industry, I don't know anybody who throws a whopper flopper muskie fishing. They throw a Lake X lure as topwater bait. It's kind of funny because it's not even their sixth or seventh choice when you're going after a topwater bait. But I do throw it. I threw it on in the Kentucky Lake tournament and practice. I lost like an 8.5 on it, and then pre-practice I had a handful of fish over 5 pounds that ate a muskie bait.
Yeah,
like it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, Cody, let's not talk about big fish that have gotten away on Kentucky Lake. So I still cry myself to sleep over that one. So let's talk about the FLW Tour this year. Looks like a pretty tough schedule. You've got OkeeChobee starting out, the Harris Chain, Lake Lanier, Lake Cumberland, Smith Lake, Kentucky Lake, Lake St. Clair. What bodies of water are you looking forward to fishing? Which ones fall into your style? I'm going to hammer them. And then which ones are you looking at and saying, oh, I'm going to have to just go out there and grind this one out?
I guess I'll go with the one that I'm the most nervous about because I really don't have the much knowledge of that type of fishing is Kentucky Lake, even though I had a really good tournament out there this past year. Like, I am not a ledge fisherman. I have, like, an inkling of the amount of experience that some of these guys have fishing that way. And it's still a mystery to me of how those fish, yeah. Like, so that one's definitely on the list. And these two Florida tournaments, like, all you hear is, these tournaments eating up rookies and spitting them out and sending them home crying. So I really don't, I want to say it's going to be a lot like Wisconsin grass fishing, but I really don't know. I haven't been there. So that's kind of a big mystery to me. Probably the ones I'm most excited for are Lanier, Cumberland, and St. Clair. Just because Lanier, I'm excited about the spotted bass, just because they act a lot like smallmouth in a way, and it sets up like I'm really comfortable with the Missouri area lakes. It sets up a lot like a table rock almost, maybe a little deeper. Cumberland, big smallmouth lakes, and then St. Clair. Obviously, I've been there before. I know how it sets up. I know what kind of I need to do to put myself in contention. So St. Clair is probably one that I feel pretty confident about going to.
So if you were sitting here when you answered that question, you should have seen Casey's face when you said you were nervous about Kentucky Lake. His face all wrinkled up. He was like, what? I think he thought you were going to go into that one with a little bit of confidence.
I was expecting Smith Lake as your one that you were most worried about.
I like grinder tournaments. And I know Smith is either hit or miss. Like, there's a ton of fish in there, but it seems like when it wants to be a grinder tournament, it will be a grinder tournament. But like, there's a FLW Tour there. I think Zach Birch or someone, guys are crushing the spots in largemouth that tournament. So I don't know. I think that one will be okay. I like fishing clear water. I'm comfortable with clear water, so I'm not that nervous about it. That's definitely a wild card, but Kentucky Lake it's still goofy to me because I've only done it a handful of times, and I'm slowly kind of getting grips to what they do. But at the same time, there's so much pressure out there that it changes every year. Like, you have to. Last year how I caught them was different than what you hear people, writing in the book of TVA ledge fishing. So, I don't know. I know how to graph fish. I know how to graph, look at my graph and find fish, but it doesn't mean that they're going to bite.
Right.
Like,
yeah, you did pretty good on Kentucky Lake last year, and like you said, the experience that some of those guys have out there, like Mark Rose, and they've spent their whole life out there. So what do you? Yeah. You're going against guys like that on the ledge lakes, and you're going against JT Kinney and Scott Martin on OkeeChobee next week. How do you stay focused, and do you get intimidated by those guys?
You can't be you can't be intimidated by it because you really have no control over what they're doing. The only thing you can control is yourself. So you can totally knock yourself out and worry about what they're doing. And if you see them come into an area, fish for 5 minutes and leave the area that you're fishing and you have confidence in, that could throw you off pretty badly. But I've also been in areas that's given me confidence where I've caught fish around guys around pros when they weren't catching anything. So I guess fishing the coastas for, the last 2 years and catching fish when, guys like that happen, that gives me confidence. Like, just not to worry about it, just to relax, because it's just another tournament.
You
can't control what they're doing.
I mean, that can go both ways. I mean, I remember last year on Dardanelle in the Costa, I pulled up to the spot in the morning and Stacy King was fishing right next to me. And I thought, I must be doing something right. But so, it goes both ways. I think it can be kind of intimidating, but also it kind of give you confidence because, you're fishing you found the same things in practice as some of the guys you grew up watching on TV, kind of your heroes.
Right.
Let's ask a quick question here. So you're going to be going into this pre-meeting for this first tournament, and you're going to be walking into the room with guys like Andy Morgan, Brian Thrift, Cody Meyer. Get that nervousness out in that pre-meeting and just hammer them on the lake, right?
I guess I'm kind of excited for that because I want to actually meet these people and talk to them. You see them on TV for how many years? Like that's the only side of them that you kind of know is you see them on TV. So I want to see what these people are actually like. I guess that's what I'm excited about.
So Cody, one rod, one bait. You have to pick it. You have to use it. What's it going to be?
So one rod, one bait.
Is this for the whole year?
Going out, you're fishing against Casey head to head. You get one rod.
He could beat me with a Snoopy rod with a Zebco 202.
So Cody, you have to pick one rod, one bait, and you have to use it. This next fish is $1 million. What rod are you picking up? What bait are you picking up?
Half ounce. Too easy to say, but it's the truth. Half ounce Arky style head jig, a Zoom super chunk, green pumpkin, and a 7.6 medium heavy.
You using braid or fluoro or mono?
I'd have to go like 50-pound braid.
All right, so 7'6", 7'6" with a half ounce Arky head with 50-pound braid.
Yep.
Casey's just shaking his head saying that's not what he would use.
I don't think I own an Arky head jig. Maybe that's my problem. I'll be making a big tackle warehouse order tonight. I can guarantee that.
Ooh, the Arky.
He's probably just messing with us, and now I'm going to order a bunch of stuff I'll never use.
I've never thrown that my entire life. You are
punch that half ounce Arky head through those thick OkeeChobee mats.
Oh, that
maybe put a 2-ounce weight in front of it up the line.
So before we sign off, Cody, from Casey and I here at the Bass Crew, we just want to wish you good luck this next week down in OkeeChobee. You've got 2 fans at least sitting here cheering you on and wishing you the best of luck. And we'll hopefully when you win your first one here on OkeeChobee, that we're the first people you call back to let us know that you won it.
Yeah, definitely will. Thanks for keeping me in mind when you opened up your podcast.
Casey, that was an interesting interview with Cody. What's your take on that?
Yeah, he had some real interesting comments on sponsors, just the fishing industry in general. Also, his take on the season was quite interesting. Some of the tournaments that I thought he would be most confident in, he actually thought that those are kind of his weakest ones that he was looking forward to. So pretty interesting conversation.
Yeah, that was interesting how, you and I talking before the interview, you had talked about how you thought he was going to be pretty confident down in Kentucky Lake because of his finish here in the last couple of years. And yet in his mind, that is the one he's most worried about. Why do you think that is?
I just think it's such a giant lake and so different than anything we do in Wisconsin. I mean, ledge fishing is not something that he's used to, even though he's done it a few times and had success. The difference between failing and doing great is so slim. I mean, like he was talking about in the interview, he had no fish I think it was day one of that Costa event, and in the last 10 minutes or something, he pulled together 20 pounds. I mean, that's the difference between cashing a check and zeroing. So, that could have easily gone the other way if he made one different decision.
So he starts this week down on OkeeChobee. How intimidated would you be rolling up to your first tour event down on Lake OkeeChobee?
Well, to be honest, I don't think I would be that intimidated down there. I mean, I think I would be more intimidated if it was somewhere else like Kentucky Lake or something that I really had no clue what I was going to do. I mean, I think, like we were talking about, I really think that the Florida fishing is a lot like Wisconsin. I know that there's a lot of differences also, like clear water is just a huge thing on OkeeChobee, where if it's not clear, they just won't bite. Punching mats and stuff like that is what we do in Wisconsin, so I think you'll do good there.
All right, thanks for listening to this episode of the Bass Crew. Before we leave, I want to play a little bit of an excerpt. So after our interview, Casey and Cody and we stayed on the phone a little bit, and we were joking around and screwing around a little bit, and I kept recording. And here's a little clip from that where we asked Cody what his stage music was going to be. So,
yeehaw!
The sweet Lord baby Jesus sitting there in manger.
So Cody, you're getting ready to hit the big stage. What song are you going to be walking across the stage to when you make your first top 10?
It was a tough choice. It was either going to be a Tupac or Biggie song, or it was going to be more like EDM song. And I went with an EDM song. I can't wait to see the faces of some of these guys, because they're going to be like, "What the hell? Who is this?"
That was kind of our face, because we don't even know who you're talking about right now. What's
Phil Taylor's going to be like, "Oh boy, I don't think that's quite appropriate."
Thanks for joining us, and we will catch you next time on the Bass Crew.
Get back to work, you slacker.